tutorials for SMPS chapter volunteers. My name's Kevin Doyle. I'm the Certification and IT Manager for SMPS headquarters, and today I've been asked to talk to you about the Certified Professional Services Marketer Program, also known as the CPSM program. Just want to say hello to everybody, welcome, and thank you for joining the training tutorial session. Let's jump right in and learn about the CPSM. Today we're going to discuss why and how. The two questions, why and how. Why to become a CPSM and how to become a CPSM. The first we're going to start with, the first question is why? Why should somebody become a CPSM? What are the benefits? What are the reasons why? Well, there's many. I'm just going to go through a few of them today. And the first one I come to is increased knowledge. Increased knowledge. That's maybe one of the best reasons, maybe the best reason in my opinion for becoming a CPSM. You know, you take away everything that people know about the CPSM. I have to apply and register. I have to take this test. I got to later on down the road after I become a CPSM recertified. Take off the whole framework of the actual program. Beneath it, what this program is all about is learning, knowledge, ongoing education. That's the beating heart of the program. And that's, again, in my opinion, why I think it's important to start with this benefit. Knowledge, information, especially in this day and age, is, in my opinion, more valuable than anything. We live in the information age, and people who have knowledge, who have information, are empowered. And that's one of the strongest selling points for the CPSM program. So I have heard people, in fact, tell me time and time again, and these are people who have taken the exam and successfully passed it, some people even who have not been successful, even folks who have sat down to study but didn't plan to sit for the exam. Maybe they weren't eligible yet. Maybe they were eligible and just were planning to sit for the test at a later date. They all said the same thing. They all come back with the same thought. They say, Kevin, I learned a lot. All the reading, all the studying, the study groups, the time spent, I learned a lot while getting ready to become a CPSM. There's success. There's success. If you've learned, success has happened. Now, about these 6 bullet points you hear, the Society has done a role delineation survey back in 1999 and again in 2013 and determined that these are the 6 knowledge areas that professional services marketers and business developers need to know. And there they are on the screen: marketing research, marketing planning, client and business development, proposals, promotional activity, and management. If every single professional services marketer and or business developer out there has an understanding of these 6 domains of practice, the CPSM, the Certified Professional Services Marketer, must be proficient. They have to be proficient in these areas, and that's what the test is all about, determining that proficiency. The test is like any other test. It's a measuring stick. It's a measuring device of how much knowledge you have and have retained. All right, more on this in the coming slides. But first, a quote from Dave Easterbrooks, CPSM. Dave's from the SMPS Boston chapter. He's been a CPSM since 2004. I've known Dave for quite some time, and he's got a great quote here that kind of sums up what I've been talking about here in the past slide. He says, I never studied marketing in school. Reading the recommended study materials for the exam and discussing the concepts with a study group filled a huge gap in my knowledge of marketing and business development. There it is. The learning that took place, Dave says, from reading the books and joining a study group. And we're going to talk more about the books and the study groups in later slides. But there it is. He really encapsulates what I'm trying to say here. It's all about learning. All right. Another benefit. Ooh, I love this slide. Kind of a scary slide. Caution. Credibility matters. Credibility, a big word. I'm going to jump right on to the next slide. Enhanced credibility with with employers, clients, and peers. Ever since I started working for the Society back in 2002, I've heard from time and time again from members. I've been to conferences, I've been to workshops, just speaking with them in the many discussions I've had with people over the years, in person, face-to-face, over the phone. Our members are always looking for their place at the table. They're always looking to be able to speak shoulder to shoulder with their principals and with their technical staff. In an industry that values certification, the CPSM is the one credential for professional services marketers and business developers to have that is respected by those peers, by clients, by employers, by technical staff. The CPSM, the society feels, and this is why they have over the years supported this program, this wonderful program so much, is they really believe that the CPSM gives a professional services marketer and or business developer that edge, that step up where they will have their place at the table. They can speak person to person, shoulder to shoulder, peer to peer with their principals, with their technical staff. I've heard it time and time again from people, and they say, yep, Kevin, that's what the CPSM is all about. I'm going to jump right to a quote, if I may, from Alfred Potter, better known as Al Potter, longtime member and fellow for the Society. Al Potter is a Senior Vice President and Director of Business Development at Gilbane Construction, Gilbane Building Company. And as he says so well as far as credibility, SMPS is the recognized source of industry-wide education and development among marketing and business development professionals in the design and construction community. We at Gilbane have long been believers in the career enhancement that SMPS provides for our employees in this part of the business. And the CPSM designation is an affirmation of professional commitment and competency in the profession. There it is. That's from one of the top people, again, at a top building company. Again, providing the credibility for people in our society. That's one of the major benefits of this program of becoming a CPSM. All right, going to keep right on rolling along here with benefits. Three big ones. Improved ability to compete in the job market, potential for increased compensation and benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. Many CPSMs have told me that they use their CPSM for leverage. When it's time to look for that new job and they want to get on the short list, they want to get down, there's many resumes in front of a potential new employer, and they're sifting through them, they see the CPSM. When it comes time for the interview, they sit down and the employer is bound to ask, or if not, the CPSM should bring up the fact that they are a CPSM. Hey, what's that all about? Well, I'm a certified professional services marketer. Oh, what does that mean? Well, that's something I use. That's something I passed a rigorous 150 multiple question test. I recertify every 3 years by earning 50 CEUs, and that's done by attending educational programming. I speak, I write, I read articles. When you bring that home to a current employer or a prospective employer, who among them would not be excited to hear that? There's a big sentence I've used over the years. It's kind of wordy, but I'll put it out. I'll put it forth right now. The official line is embracing professionalism through ongoing education. CPSMs are people who want to embrace professionalism through ongoing education. And that simply means they want to be better at what they do through learning. Again, I say, what employer out there wouldn't be absolutely thrilled to have somebody on their team who embraces that philosophy in life? This is the person who always wants to be better at what they do. I always use the analogy, or if you will, that it's the person who always wants to keep their tools in the shed as sharp as possible. The person who is always out there, wants to learn more, wants to be on the cutting edge, wants to know more. Another thing I've always said over the years, CPSMs are lifelong learners. Again, they like to learn. They like to be out there attending educational programs to be able to, again, improve their standing at their job, both personally and for their firms. And that's something that should be brought home time and time again. It's not just about the individual. It's what they will bring back with them to the firm with this higher level of competency, with the CPSM. So again, whether it's getting that promotion or the advancement at your current place or looking to move on to a better thing, a better job, a better position, the CPSM can be used and is often used by people out there in the field to help them get to where they want to go. All right. And if I can, another quote here from a longtime CPSM, Shiloh Spriggs. I've known Shiloh Spriggs for a long time. I'm smiling right now because Shiloh Spriggs is a very nice lady. She's been a CPSM since 2004. And her quote here, again, touches on what I've just been speaking to. The CPSM certification is more than just a certificate hanging on your wall. It's a way to differentiate yourself. It's the difference between being seen as an average marketing person versus a true marketing expert. When competing for a high-level position with a distinguished firm, it set me apart from the rest, and I was offered the position. And there it is again. She mentions there about an average marketing person and a true marketing expert. Again, that harkens back to what I spoke to earlier when I was talking about if every professional services marketer has an understanding, the CPSM has a higher level of proficiency, and this is understood. The certification, Shallow just speaks to it, to what I was saying earlier, and it is true. The CPSM gives you, it's a designation, it's a standout that many people out there do not have. And the ones who do have got something that they always can bring to bear when it comes time to help make themselves stand out, to differentiate among the crowd. Enough said about that. One more thing, one more benefit, one more reason why: accountability, industry recognition of your professional competence. I mentioned earlier, in this industry, credentials are highly, highly valued, a mark of excellence. The CPSM is the one credential for professional services marketers that does show that you've got accountability. Someone who can be trusted, somebody whose opinion, again, has earned a place to be valued. If I may, I'm going to take a quote I found. This is not an SMPS member. This is a woman, a past president of the Institute for Credentialing Excellence, Melissa Corrigan, and she sums it up best here, if I may. Certification matters. Professional credentials provide employers and employees with recognition for the time and training undertaken to develop expertise within a specific field. Certification may positively impact company profitability and provide employees with nationally portable credentials that set them apart when seeking a new job or advancing with their current organization. Again, the reason why I use this quote today is because it really encapsulates, one more time, what I've been talking about here. Again, to develop expertise within a specific field, certification may positively impact company profitability. Once more, the CPSM obviously is for the individual, but it helps everybody involved at their firm. They bring that back. It helps with company profitability. And then what I was speaking to also about advancement for the individual, it's a nationally portable credentials. The CPSM actually, while it's mostly focused in the AEC industry, I have CPSMs who are accountants. I've got CPSMs who are lawyers, people in real estate, across various industries. This credential is portable because, going back to those domains in practice that we developed during our role delineation survey, it was realized how broad they were, how far-reaching they were. In fact, the marketing research, marketing planning, client and business development, proposals, promotional activity, management, obviously these are all focuses within the AEC industry, but beyond as well. So the CPSM, again, gives the person the proficiency to carry that credential and ultimately the accountability, which they can take with them, and when they get to their new place, they can bring to bear with their firm and to help them increase profitability and make their firm a better place to be at, better place to work for. All right. I'm going to jump ahead now and start talking about the how to become a CPSM, how to begin the process. Let's jump right in, shall we? I'm going to start with studying because that's the big one. And over the years, I developed sort of 3 easy, what I've called my cardinal rules for getting ready to become a CPSM. They are as follows. 1, read the books. 2, join a study group. And 3, take your time. These are the 3 cardinal rules I think I've sort of synthesized down by talking to CPSMs who have been successful on the test. All of them have put in some serious reading time. All of them, or many of them, have joined local study groups. I'll talk about those in a moment. And then take your time. Now, reading the books, I'm going to jump off PowerPoint here for a second, if I may. Go to the old SMPS website. And when I speak about reading the books, the suggested reading list is right here online. Bear with me for just one moment while this opens up. And there it is. I'm going to minimize this just slightly here so we can see better. These are books that the CPSM, that the Society for Marketing Professional Services thinks every professional services marketer should read, but the CPSM should definitely read in getting ready for the test. There's the Marketing Handbook for the Design and Construction Professional. There's a Rainmaking by Ford Harding. Wired to Your Clients by David Stone. Planet, Elizabeth Quebe. Another book by Ford Harding, Creating Rainmakers. AEC Marketing Fundamentals. Planet, and even a series of professional services marketer articles. These are the books. You've got to read the books. You've got to put in the study time. You've got to read. Candidates have come to me many times over the years and said, Kevin, you know, I'm just not sure if I can read all these books. And I tell them, please, 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 try to read as many as you can. I understand in this busy, frenetic almost at times, workaday world we live in, it's hard to find time to sit down and read. You just have to roll up your sleeves and get down to it. This is the pathway to success. This is the path to becoming a CPSM. These books can help you. They cover the concepts and principles in those domains of practice I mentioned earlier that will help you understand them better and get you through to becoming a CPSM. Speaking of the domains of practice, I happen to have that open as well. I'm going to expand this slightly. And oops, sorry, I scrolled ahead here, if I may. Sorry, but here 1 second. Oh, I have to scroll through this. I apologize. This is a copy of the domains of practice. This, by the way, is also on the SMPS website. You can find this, all these materials, by the way, under certification and study. And so I've already showed you the suggested reading list. There's the domains of practice, which I'll cover here in a second, the study guide. The handbook is just a book to discover, or is just to talk about some of the administrative details, how to apply, register, prepare for the test, etc. There's a gap analysis here. It's a self-survey tool to help you look at the domains of practice and determine your knowledge areas, what areas you have gaps and what areas you don't. But to jump back to domains of practice, this is a document that was put together after our role delineation survey in 2013. And all the skill sets that were covered in the survey were synthesized down into one single document, and here it is. I highly recommend that any candidate who gets ready for the test downloads this and takes a good look at this to determine if they are what they have an understanding of in the way of our domains of practice. Because again, this is the backbone of the program. And if you scroll down to the very last page, there's actually a built-in self-assessment gap analysis that just asks you your recommended skills, your present level and your needed level. This is something that everybody should look at before they even begin studying. Take a look at this, and it tells you your level of experience. And again, you want to be at a place where you have an understanding of these concepts and principles before you sit down for the test. So there's the domains of practice, there's the reading list to get ready for the test, and as I mentioned earlier, you can download a study guide and a few other items here to help you for test preparation. All right. Studying is done. You're going to have to apply. Application is online. I'm not going to go through the entire application today, but it is online. It's a simple click of a button. You'll be prompted to go to this page under www.smps.org certification/apply. It's a quick link. It's going to ask you to log in if you're not currently an SMPS member. It's going to have you fill out a simple web-based form to become active in our database, not a full member, mind you, but you'll be able to access the application. So once you've done with your studying, let me jump back to PowerPoint here, the next step is to apply. The application process is going to ask you for a couple different things. It's going to ask you for your general information. It's going to ask you about your work history and your education history. There's 3 ways, I'm going to jump back out again here, to be eligible to sit for the test. And here they are on the screen right now. Applicants who want to sit for the test must possess either a bachelor's degree or an advanced degree, meaning a master's or beyond, and then 4 years experience in marketing or business development for firms providing professional services. Or they can possess an associate's degree plus 6 years of work experience in marketing and business development, or without any formal degree, they have 8 years experience, and then all candidates must agree to pledge to abide by the CPSM Code of Ethics. Just as a reminder here, again, that does not necessarily mean in the AEC industry. If you are, again, from a legal firm, an accounting firm, IT, that will qualify. That work experience will qualify, and whether you are in that currently or have that in your past, that will apply towards your work history. So that's a quick look at the application process. If you are going to follow the first 2 paths with a bachelor's degree or associate's, we will ask you to send a copy of your college transcript or a notarized photocopy of your diploma into the SMPS headquarters. You'll get an acceptance letter from me when I've reviewed and approved your application. That should come in a matter of days or even weeks, depends how quickly you get through the application and how quickly we hear back from you if we need your transcripts or your degree. But once you have that, you are then eligible to sit for the test. The letter I'm going to send you will basically, in so many words, say that you are now eligible, and at that time, you will then register for the test. Going back, the registration process is a fairly simple thing. It's a one-page document. It's asking you the time, date, and place of where you want to sit for the test. One other thing you're going to need, two things actually. One is a proctor. No matter where you are or where you live, who you are, you need a proctor to sit with you while you're taking the CPSM examination. A proctor can be a current CPSM. If there's none available to you, you aren't aware of one, I can probably help you find one local to you. And if not that, we can work out other arrangements so we can have somebody proctor your test. But no matter what, all tests are proctored. In the future, we are possibly looking into using testing centers, but for the time being, CPSM examinations are proctored face-to-face by a CPSM local to your area. So the test, let's talk about that briefly. The test is 150 multiple choice questions. I know I was forgetting something. My apologies. Back to registration. Once your application has been reviewed and approved and you receive the letter saying you're now eligible and you receive the exam registration form, that registration, most important thing I can say here about this, do not complete and send that until you've completed all your studying, all your prep for the exam. That's extremely important. I always refer to registering for the test as pulling the trigger. And by that I simply mean you send your registration form in when you're pretty much all set to go. You've got your studying down, you've got your preparation down, you're feeling very good about being ready for the test. That's when you want to register, and not until then. Application can take place earlier, but registration, you're going to want to do that again when you're pretty much all set to go to sit for the test. All right, sorry if that backtracked. Oops, did it again. Here, one second, going back one. The test. The CPSM examination is a 150 multiple choice test question. All questions are A, B, C, or D. There's never E, none of the above, or F, all of the above. You will have 3 hours to complete the test, whether it's the paper or online version of the test. By the way, both the paper or online versions of the test are the same. It's the same questions drawn from the same content, which is, you guessed it, the suggested reading list, which is based on the domains of practice. That's where all questions come from and are based upon for the test. Again, 3 hours to sit for the test, which is, if you're thinking, gosh, is that long enough? The answer is yes. It's more than enough time, in fact, for candidates. I've never once had a candidate who's gone over on time. In fact, most candidates have enough time to complete the entire exam and go back and review their questions, review their answers, and still have time to spare. There is a review function, by the way, built into the online test. I'm asked this frequently. There is a review function where there's a small box as the question appears. This is for the online test, of course. As the question appears on the computer screen, there's a box R for review. When you click that box, it gives you the ability to go back. One small item to understand, you must go through the entire 150 questions on the exam. When you're completed, when you get to that last question, you will see a screen will appear then listing all the questions that you have clicked R for review. You can, again, click that box for every single question or just the ones that you want to go back and review. Also, any questions left unanswered will also be highlighted on that screen with a U next to them. That means they've been unanswered. A quick note, please, 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 to candidates out there, answer all questions on the test. You must answer all questions. A question left unanswered will be considered an incorrect answer and will be marked so on the test. So please make sure you answer every question on the CPSM examination. More information, again, here's the link. It's just going to take you back to the website again, if I may, and talk about the test and more details to that, more details on the web page. So let me see here. Bear with me 1 second from the current slide. So sorry. Okay. So I'm trying to think here if I've covered everything about studying, applying, registering, and testing. Back to the study process and my 3 cardinal rules. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself there. I mentioned that they were, 1, read the books, 2, join a study group, and 3, take your time. I'm going to backtrack just one more time here. Study groups. Study groups I highly recommend and highly endorse. They take place mostly at the local chapter level. If you're interested in starting a study group, it can be as easy as, I always say, a group can be 2 people or 200 people. It's just a matter of people coming together who have read the books, read the material, and they discuss things, they write things down, they quiz and test one another. This is extremely helpful with retention, with retaining information. It's been shown time and time again that people who are able to come together and discuss things, write things down, just the act of doing that helps people to retain information. So again, you definitely want to read the books. You want to hopefully join a study group. And again, my final third cardinal rule was take your time. Take your time. There's no shortcuts to becoming a CPSM, and we wouldn't want there to be. It's the credential, the designation must be earned, and it's been set at a place, been set at a level that's going to challenge the candidates. So this is something, you want to put time aside for. I always say, I spoke to this earlier, it's tough. You've got a job, a career, the family, the whole life you lead out there. There's so much to get done, and then you've got to study on top of it. Whew, it's tough. It's tough, but it can be done. It can be done. We know it can because there's over 800 CPSMs walking around out there today who have done it. By the way, while mentioning that, one final helpful hint. Besides my three cardinal rules of reading the books, joining a study group, and taking your time, talk to some CPSMs. Talk to people who have taken the test, hopefully more recently than years and years ago, but talk to them. They might have helpful hints. And this is going to actually lead to my next slide. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is success. That was the great Henry Ford. What I'm getting to here, is alluding to, is resources, my friends. You want to use the resources at hand. You've got us here at SMPS headquarters. We're always here to help out. But you've also got people at your SMPS chapter who, again, chapter leadership who know about the program. You've got CPSMs. Reach out to those people. Use the resources you have to help you become a CPSM. But many of the CPSMs might have something that they suggested that I could not cover today due to time, or I just didn't have it in my wheelhouse. But talk to people at the chapter who have taken the test, who have become CPSMs. They could be an absolute font of information to help you prepare and ultimately become a CPSM. There's my SMPS. There's often discussions about becoming a CPSMs. Access those as well. You have access to that. Use the resources that are available to you as an SMPS member, and this goes out to whether you're interested in becoming a candidate or somebody who out there who wants to help candidates become CPSMs. As always, if you have any questions, there's me. I apologize for that dreadful picture. What can I say? No. A nature shot. I was taken outdoors in the spring. But I'm Kevin Doyle. I'm your certification and IT manager, and I'm always here to help you. I'm always ever just a phone call or an email away, and I hope you know that. I truly believe in this program. I think the CPSM can really help people, and that's why I do it. At the end of the day, not to bring it back to me, but I like to help people, and I really like to help people become CPSMs, and I'd like to help you. So please, if you have any questions, I'm always here, and I'm ready to answer. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I know sometimes I talk too fast. I'm going to listen to this recording. But please tune in later for future programs that are going to be brought to us by the virtual training tutorial session for SMPS chapter volunteers. That's my presentation, and thank you again for listening in today. Have a great day.